And we're back. We're reading Almost Odis by me, Dusty Thompson. You like my shirt? It's a lovely, got micro dots. I hope you do like it because you're going to see it for several videos because I'm filming a bunch of these all in a row. Sorry if that doesn't meet your expectations. It's okay. I'm sure we'll both get over it. So, if you're following along, we're on page 101. We are just trucking through this book. The blog dated Sunday, April the 1st, 2012, Cornbread and Public Indecency. And I just noticed the date. This was not April Fool's. This really happened. The inherent differences between my father and I have never been quite as obvious as they were this weekend. I arrived at the San Jose airport returning from a week-long project management certification for the government, and I was wearing a basic travel outfit of colored chinos, white Oxford, white Jack Purcell lace-ups, and a gray cardigan. For this trip, my chinos were fuchsia. Fuchsia is the physical manifestation of the word awesome, in case you didn't know. Now, you don't have to dress like me in order for me to refrain from judgment, but the dad rolled out of his truck to let me drive home. He was wearing his redneck uniform, jeans with suspenders, a pocket t-shirt, and a Tractor Supply hat. And this I truly don't mind. However, the addition of house shoes with no socks was a bit much, as with the fact his pants were not buttoned or zipped because I assumed he couldn't be bothered after his pre-airport toileting. I'm not even sure I want to know the reasons why. After we got home and I unpacked, he reminded me that since I was away for his day to pick the groceries, he wanted to choose where we ate dinner. I was too tired to cook, so I heartily agreed and left to get the barbecue pizza and wings he had seen on a commercial. I guess he is also susceptible to suggestion. Maybe that's where I get it. All of my bad habits I blame on him. All of my good habits I blame on my mother and Jesus. And now Ben. Ben's a good influence on me. He's not crazy. On the way back from Round Table Pizza, I stopped to get our drinks, Coke Zero for him, Snapple Diet Peach Iced Tea for me, at the Quickie Mart down the street. When I pulled into the parking lot, I noticed a woman with her pants completely pulled down, all the way down. I saw more of her butt cheeks than I had of my own. And she was urinating, squatting beside a gas pump, visible from the street, without shame. I thought at first I must be hallucinating, as this is not something I expect to see even in California, land of the heathen. And then we locked eyes. The amount of confidence she exuded could have gotten her a career in politics had her lot in life been a different one. I parked and walked inside and said to the cashier, "You know that woman by the gray pickup is urinating in your parking lot?" The cashier said, "Dang, man, I told her our bathroom was employees only. She should just ignore the sign and use it anyway." After I paid, I left, still not believing I had seen what I had seen. I couldn't wait to get home and tell the dad, and then we would laugh about how gross people are, and maybe he'd remember some misbegotten adventure with some heinously white trash cousin, and we'd be set for dinner time conversation, if I included my extensive knowledge of the behavior of sketchy folks. Sometimes at dinner we read because there's just not a whole lot to say between two people who have nothing in common but their lack of commonalities. After I told the story, he just looked at me and I said, "I still can't believe it." He replied, "There ought to be a law." I said, "I think there has to be." He said, "I hope so. I mean, businesses shouldn't be allowed to have employees-only bathrooms." I stared and said, "That's what you got out of my story?" He looked confused and said, "Look, you think the weird thing was the bathroom rules and not the woman who stripped half naked and TT'd on the side of the gas pump facing the street? Really? What's the big deal about that? You've done it before, haven't you? I see what you think about me. Answer the question, please. Have you or have you not urinated in public?" "I won't dignify that one answer," he said with more disdain than is warranted from a person who considers potted meat an amuse-bouche. My assumption was based on the fact he was eating it when I got home, knowing full well I was en route with dinner. I wasn't sure what else to say, so I just stopped talking while he pouted. Then we shared our pizza and wings and the ensuing indigestion. Nothing says uncomfortable like two people attempting to burp in silence. I felt kind of bad, so this afternoon I made cornbread in a cast iron skillet like a southern woman, which is fine, except I am not a woman and do not remember purchasing said skillet. Where we want to tame one of this item anyway? Aren't they just always there in a southern family, like grits at breakfast or crazy relatives? I try to tell him love isn't buying things, but apparently I think love is cooking things. Love is cooking things, y'all, because Ben cooked me some Thai red curry yesterday. Ooh, it's so good. I can feel the love every time I eat it. It's delicious. Otherwise, I have no explanation for my behavior. These latent abilities in the kitchen are a little closer to my roots than I am comfortable admitting at this juncture. I need to go put on a smoking jacket and a cravat and read something really pretentious just to be on the safe side. Full disclosure, I would need to buy a smoking jacket and a cravat. And I could just go sit on my sun porch and silently judge people while pretending to read French deconstructionist philosophy, or at the very least, the Andy Warhol diaries. He really enjoyed the cornbread. He never did answer my question, so I think we all know the answer is to that. And we're done. We'll see you next time. Thanks.